Hello and welcome back. This video is about adding data-driven UI to the web style tree in Unreal 5.4 Blueprints. And a special thanks to all my supporters. Thank you for helping me help others. So the first thing I've done is imported these high quality icons for the buttons. So for that I'm going to create an enum. So that is under Blueprint Enumeration. We'll call this Stat Type. And in here I'm just going to make 4 entries. Health, shield, armor, and damage. So there are a number of ways to go data-driven, or data-driven, if you prefer. For this, we're going to use the data table. When you go to create it, you'll see that it's asking for a row structure. This will list all the structs that are available. Since we haven't created one, we don't have one in here we want to use. So first we want to cancel that. We can go back into Blueprint, Structure. I'll name this S Tree Button Data. And here I'm just going to have 3 variables: icon, stat, and value. So the icon is going to be a texture. The stat is going to be our new stat type. And lastly, we'll just use an integer for our value. Now we can create the data table under miscellaneous. We can find our Tree Button data down here. And then it wants a name. So dt underscore Tree Button. So we're going to initially add a row here. Actually, I'll add all 6. We have 6. We have 7 buttons in our web tree. We're not going to use the center one, so we'll have the 6. Row names I'm just going to set to the button ID. For the stat and the image, for this one I'll just set it to our health icon. We'll set this value as 5. For the second one, we'll just set it to shield 5. Armor 5. Set this one to damage 10. We'll throw up another health one at 15, and lastly another shield one. So you can go in and include or put the icon on all these things. Instead, I'm going to save that. I'm going to go back out here. I'm going to right click this. I want to export the data table as a CSV or JSON. Both of these are very simple text files. For this, I'm just going to call it web tree button data. When you do that, it finds the file. It asks if you want to import it. So in this case, we don't want to import it. That would just bring it in as the name of the JSON as a data table. So I'm going to not import that. When I go back into our data table here, I can then hit re-import. This will let me select a file. So I'm going to select the one that we just created. So that's all good when that's selected like that. Now, when you right click over here, you now have open source data as an option. So if I hit that, it should be whatever application you have assigned to JSON files, which might just be, Notepad. So in here, I mean, as I said, it's just a text file. So for the icon, I'm just going to copy and paste this. I'm going to search for health. And then I'm just going to change these. I purposely named that one wrong to show something. So that's all good. Save this. Go back into Unreal Engine. And now it says the same thing. It's been changed. It's updated. If we hit import, it doesn't pop up a window like it would have previously because this is now connected. You can see when you hover over it, and now it says the source file as that file. When we go back in that, you can see they're all updated except for the one that I put the misspelled damage on. This implies that when it gets something like a texture, when it's referring to a file, it does validate that the file exists. So for that, I'll just go back to the JSON file, and then I can just name this properly. Hit re-import, and there we go. Although, because it changed, it does also pop this up again. You can hit import or don't import. It won't matter in this case. So with that set up, I'm going to go back into our web tree button in our event construct. So the way that you access data tables in Blueprints, there's get data table, and there's a number of functions here. If you wanted to get all of the rows, this would give you the array of all the row names. What we're going to use though, because we have our row name already, we're going to get data table row. So for get data table row, we're going to select our data table, and we need to send in a row. You can see that it's already been populated with what's in that data table, but we need to have this as our button ID. So we have this here, and control drag that out, and if you want that, it's saying it's not compatible with name. However, if you convert the int to a string, string can be converted into a name. With that, as long as it finds the row, we can then call on our button two functions. I'm going to call set tooltip text. And for that, we're going to take the row that comes out. We can break this to get our three struct values. Also, this is a text type. If you drag that out and type append, you'll see that there's nothing there. If I throw on or disable context sensitive, then you could find it. This is not the best way. There we go, string append. So if I do that, it'll throw in the conversion and give us our string append. So for this, I want the stat. If you convert an enum to a string, it'll give you the enum to string. Similarly, for our value, it'll give us our int to string. Here I just want a space and a plus. Move this all around so it doesn't look so nasty. Secondly, I want to call set style. Oh, there it is. So set style will give us how we can set our button styles and a number of other things. I'm going to put this way over here. So for our style, we can drag that out and hit make button style. You can see here that there is a slate brush per type, and then some values for padding and sound, etc. We're just going to set the slate type here. So you drag that out. You can make slate brush. For this, we want to pop it open, and we're trying to get the image. So we can take our icon image, drag it over here. Move this back a bit. So I'm not going to do it in this video, but typically you would have different images for each of the states. In this case, I'm just going to set them so it doesn't look so bad to normal, hovered, and pressed. So with that, we can run, and we see that the icons have been updated. If you hover over it, it'll show you the tooltip text. We got shield plus 5, armor plus 5, health plus 15, the damage plus 10, and the health plus 5 are here. And it lights up because it's going from disabled. And again, we need 2 points here to light that one up. So there we go. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video and would like to see more, you know what to do. And if you would like to support this channel, watch these videos 2 weeks early, or just want to download the project files, you can do so through my Patreon linked below.